Happening now, the Budget Inn Motel in the village of Falconer continues to disrupt the area. We speak to residents coming up. Narcan administrations are up here in the city of Jamestown by both police, medical officials, and people on the street.
And I'm Dakota Hunter in the First Defense Weather Center. Well, we've still got a little bit more snow to go through today, but I don't expect a lot of accumulation out of that before that big warm-up comes our way for the end of the week. I'll talk about how warm it will be coming up.
And a North County man wins Chautauqua's Got Talent. Let us hear from you in our new and noteworthy segment. That's News Now for Tuesday, April 10th, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Happy Tuesday to you. I'm Justin Gould. It's 36 degrees. You're looking live at the JCC Skycam. A rundown of all the stories you need to know is moments away. But first, we turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with a first look at our forecast. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, good Tuesday, Justin, and good Tuesday, everybody. And boy, the temperatures are still below average. We've still got that winter chill in the air, but hey, a big turnaround is in the cards. Let's go and take a look at the radar first. And I actually wanted to show you this. If you think that is lake effect snow coming off Lake Ontario, ding, 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 you are a winner, because that's exactly what that is. We have a few patches of lake effect snow impacting the Rochester metro area. I just wanted to mention that because I think that's cool. Lake effect snow this time of the year is a little bit hard to get going, but if you get winds coming off the lake, not another question to get a few lake effect flurries. And down in our direction, nothing really going on. We just have this little patch of snow out in Erie, PA, but again, I think that might not be falling. I think it's what we call Virgo, where it's falling in the cloud level, but it evaporates on the way down. Partly cloudy throughout the day today, chance for a light snow shower throughout the day, and it will still be cold, 36 to 41. We should be around 52 this time of the year with a west wind of 5 to 10, but temperatures really warm up for late in the week, but they don't seem like they're going to last. I'll talk about all the details coming up in that full weather segment in just a few.
All right, Dakota, looking forward to it. Thank you. A business owner in the village of Falconer said something must be done about a local motel whose name has become synonymous with late-night parole checks and drug trafficking. Gary Visosky owns Bellevue East in the village of Falconer, and he spoke to our Ryan Hedrick, who picks up the story from there.
The true impact of crime and drug trafficking on a community cannot be told in one single news story, but it can be told through the eyes of a man who's 76 years old, has owned a business, and has given everything to the community that he loves. That's Gary Visosky. He owns Bellevue right here at the Four Corners in Falconer. He looks across the street every day and he sees the Budget Inn Motel. He suspects criminal activity, and it's been confirmed to him many times, but it still doesn't stop his disappointment and sadness, true sadness for what his community has become. Gary Visosky says something needs to change. He just doesn't know if it will.
Some criminals, they are criminals and they reform themselves, and others are just that way, and if they continue to let all this stay in here, and it's very obvious that that's the clientele. Probably 80% of that clientele over there is people that probably aren't going to get reformed or anything else. They'll go, oh, no, get out. They'll come down here, live for a while. They'll go out and get in trouble, and they'll put them in jail, and they'll put them back, and they'll end up back down here in another 2 months or 3 months, and that's the way it's going to be.
Visosky says that his concern is about the next generation, about what they are suffering from. He says we have an epidemic on our hands, and it starts in the home.
The families would do a little bit more with their children and help their children out down the road. Maybe we wouldn't have all these drugs and guns and criminals all over the country, but you know, that's something's got to be worked out.
So what's next for Visosky? Well, he has many grandchildren that he holds near and dear to his heart, and he tells each and every one of them to be careful and to make the right decisions for their future. He said he will continue to give that sound advice until the day he dies. Reporting from Falconer, across the street from the Budget Inn Motel, I'm Ryan Hedrick, WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Last week, WNY News Now reported that public tax dollars are being used to house people just released from prison in that Budget Inn motel. We, of course, will continue to stay on this story as we learn more. Narcan administrations rose in March, with some people receiving in upwards of 4 doses before being revived, that according to new numbers from All-Star EMS. The Emergency Response Agency said they encountered 16 people that received the opioid-blocking Narcan. 6 of those patients had to ingest multiple doses. On March 18th, a citizen reportedly gave 4 doses to a person who had overdosed. 2 days prior, a relative of a victim administered it directly into the muscle. Police followed with 2 more doses through the nose. Narcan is being used mostly in the city of Jamestown. Now, during a recent 3-day period in the city, first responders and JPD combined to administer the drug on 5 separate occasions. Last night, a North County man was named the winner of this year's Chautauqua's Got Talent. 23-year-old Dylan Carlson, who's participated in the contest for many years, burst into tears when he heard the news. Carlson said that this year he put his heart into the competition.
This year I put so much of my emotion into it rather than focusing too hard on the vocals or too hard on the piano. I just wanted to make sure whatever went out there, if that was my last time I was going to perform, that I would be completely happy with it. This year had the most determined and talented people I've ever, in any competition, in any chorus, anything. This is the most dedicated, and which is crazy because some of them are like 12, 13, and they have these voices that just blow me away. And then not only are they talented, they have this heart that comes with them where all of us are just walking around like, oh, I really want you to win. Like most kids, most anyone is like, oh, I really want to win, but we're all like trying to pass on the encouragement to each other.
And Carlson says he plans on going back to school this fall and looks forward to continuing his music career. Good for him. Coming up on the other side, we're hearing from you. Let us know what you think about these stories and more. And a special guest joins us at the anchor desk right after this.
Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
And welcome back to News Now. It's time to hear from you in our new and noteworthy segment. Ryan, once again, is filing into the studio at last minute.
Get a picture of me. I love this.
You just need to
come
in here early.
I had some. See, I'm getting mic'd up as we talk.
Look at him.
Hey, I'm so unprofessional, man. You think I ran this place?
Right.
Okay, so I had to get the coffee. I had to get the coffee going because no talkie or drivey before coffee.
It's noon, Ryan.
I know. I woke up at noon.
Well, you had a busy night last night.
I did, and I'm patting my good friend here. Yes, Rick, come a little closer. Yes.
So this is a reunion then, right?
Yeah, we should play the.
Pretty much.
We played the Peaches and Herbs song "Reunited." That's an awesome song. You know, for years, Rick and I raised awareness, and this guy actually used to give out his cell phone number. Remember that over the air?
Oh, yeah.
And got calls, too.
Oh, I got a lot of calls. Middle of the night, yeah. Weekends, didn't matter.
From struggling addicts.
Yeah.
What's the problem out there? What's the reality? Are we any better several years later?
No, we aren't. And that worries me because not only are we seeing, the heroin's about the same, but an increase in the meth problem out there. But I think because of the hopelessness and that we're breeding a whole new generation because these people's children are going through problems and seeing everything that's been done, and they'll be our next addicts that we'll see out there. So,
Does this stuff blow you away, Justin?
It's tough to hear. It really is. And, you know, being a young person, right? Like, I just graduated from high school, like 3 years ago. And just, I already have seen friends of mine who went to Falconer School who have fallen in with the wrong crowd. And, like, you know, I just, you know, it's hard because you don't 100% know what to do. Right? Like, you know, people think, well, not me, right? Not my family until it happens to you.
I'll never forget when I was just driving. It was, I think it was a Wednesday afternoon, and I was driving on East 2nd Street, and I was training a saleswoman from KISS FM when I worked there, and all of a sudden, Snellings, Samuelson, Isaacson, the SWAT team.
Right.
So I'm like, wow, you know, so I've got this girl, it's her first day on the job. First day on the job, and I'm running red lights to catch up with the SWAT team to see where they're going. And they went to Faulkner. They went to Central Avenue, you remember that, and this guy was arrested for selling cocaine. And, you know, we used to talk about this all the time. It's not just Jamestown, Rick. Not anymore.
no.
That's the perception, though. Why is that?
Well, it's just because it's the city itself, I think. And, you know, everybody has always thought, and it's been that way for a long time, that your outlying areas are a whole lot safer and that. And
Right.
that's not the way it is anymore. Not at all. I remember having a discussion 6-7 years ago, probably by now, with a pastor from Lakewood, and he said, well, we don't have a problem out here. And I said, I'll be there in about 20 minutes, you know, and I'll show you places.
Right.
So,
Do you think you can throw a stone, like, say, on Windsor Street, just kind of like throw a stone and hit a drug house now?
oh, I wouldn't doubt it. You can do that all over the city. I used to, a few years ago, I'd do a tour. You know, I'd take people around and show them where they could buy, you know, good cocaine, and where they could buy heroin. And, you know, I'd be up in Allen Park area and all over the place. And people are like, are you kidding me?
Right.
You know, I just told them they couldn't bring any cash because I wasn't stopping.
Right.
This is a situation where, you know, it literally wore you out to try to raise awareness. What obstacles did you run into in the process of getting grants and getting people to know how serious this was? Because you did it for many, many, many years without any fanfare.
Yeah, and the foundations, our local foundations are phenomenal. You know, the way they've stepped up. And,
Do they understand the
helped.
problem, though?
Oh, yeah. And they understand it very well, and it's frightening, I think, to them, too, to think that what's happening out there. You know, I know a couple of them, when they first walked into the place down there, and it was like 100 people milling around, and they were like, these are all addicts. I said,
Right.
oh, yeah, this is just a small, you know, part of it. But I think that the problem is, you know, I like to say you can never anticipate a situation. You're not going to win. You got to be able to react to it. And there's a lot of good talk going on out there, but the reaction isn't there. And it's taken forever to get things done. And, you know, I understand, you know, certain time things and that, but how many people are we losing during that time period?
Right.
You know, I mean, it's crazy. And I said years ago at the first drug forum, I said, the way I was raised is when you run into an insurmountable situation like this is, you innovate, you adapt, and you kick ass. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you
you
are.
can
Okay.
I say it all the time, every day.
But, you know, that's what you have to do. So we really need to react quicker to situations.
What I guess my question, you know, is Ryan has been very much covering this and into the scene of, you know, trying to help people out. But what can we do as a community right now? If someone's sitting out there, what needs to be done quicker, I guess?
As a community, we need more and innovative treatment options. You know, they keep going back. In fact, I was having breakfast with the sheriff this morning. We're talking about, you know, they're still trying to, and I think Chief Snellings will tell you too, that you can't arrest their way out of this situation, and they've been doing it over and over and over. And I think that's the definition of insanity.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so we need innovative options. And one of the things that made the MHA successful is that we competed directly with the dealers. You know, Ryan said I'd give my cell phone out. Dealers give their cell phone out. You call them at 2 o'clock in the morning, they'll deliver this stuff to you. They call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd go. We have to be able to do that. We have to be innovative, or we're never going to beat this thing.
It's sad to think that it's trickled down, but I had a man tell me, and I told Rick this on the phone at a drug forum. This guy, I didn't even know where he was from. He told me, he's like, don't worry, heroin will never go anywhere. It's not going anywhere. They've got warehouses full of it all around the country, ready to just keep stocking and supplying and stocking and supplying. So the question becomes, what can we do in our homes? It's scary because nobody wants to feel like they've lost control, right? But we never had it to begin with. Control is impossible.
Coming up on the other side, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. Is there more sunshine? He'll let us know. And then Rick Huber sticks with us after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Do news like no one else. Investigations that get results.
There was a bunch of kids over here playing football, and the ball kicked over onto her. She picked it up and took a butcher knife, stabbed it. Cops wouldn't do nothing.
WNY News Now investigates, standing up for you while holding the powerful accountable. If you have a problem, we're here to help. WNY News Now. WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3335 South Roberts Road in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Now, your first defense forecast with Dakota Hunter.
Hey, welcome back to News Now. Let's kick off the weather segment with the Sky Vision Camera Network. I haven't showed this camera in a while. This is the Olean camera in downtown Olean. It's 38 degrees with a dew point of 28. And I wanted to put the Buffalo Harbor camera up because the New York Power Authority announced yesterday they're taking the ice boom out of Lake Erie. That's a surefire sign that spring is a-coming. It's 36 with a dew point of 27. On to the graphics, and we'll take a look at Doppler vision, and you can see not a whole lot going on. There is that little speck of precip showing up out here, going out towards Erie, PA. But again, I think it's very light, if it's not even falling at all at this particular point. Live look outside, and you can see, there's a few breaks in the cloud cover, and you can see the flag kind of fly in there on the Digital building. It's 33 degrees at the Jamestown Airport with a wind chill of 24. With that healthy northwest wind of 13, you get the wind chill when you combine it with the air temperature and the winds. So all in all, it's still chilly out there today, but things look like they're going to be changing going into late week. So what can you expect for tomorrow? Well, temperatures will at least perk back up into the 40s. That's the good news. And we'll have rain, not snow. How about that? That's a change of pace, but at least we'll have some rain out there with a south wind. Of course, that southerly wind actually does help boost our temperatures up just a little bit, and you can see as you go farther inland, the temperatures will spike into the mid to upper 40s. Now, let's take you through future scan here, and you can see through today, not a whole lot, just a few of these snow showers popping up throughout the day. I think less than an inch of snow accumulation. That's probably the good news. And then it hightails out to the east, and then probably for tonight, partly to mostly clear skies. That's the good news. And then as we go into early tomorrow, there's a few of these white flakes starting to pop up. Not out of the question, early in the morning, a few light snowflakes. And then here comes this rain that comes in tomorrow. And this is going to be steady state mainly throughout the afternoon. That's going to be the best chance for the rain. And then as we go throughout the evening hours, a few patches of heavier rain. might mix in, but it's mainly going to be rain. That's a change of pace. Are we ready to peg the geek meter? Let's show the upper air winds, and this is at the 500 millibar level, and this is actually when the winds start to follow the weather patterns up in the atmosphere, and you can see over the next several days, you can see the winds kind of going up here, and then here comes this red stuff coming into our area. That's that warm front that's coming in from the south that's going to boost our temperatures up, but peek back to the west, big trough coming in pretty much later, pretty much going into early next week. That's the next cold shot that comes in, and that's going to really keep our temperatures down. So yeah, that light warm up, but then temperatures really go back below average. 37 degrees for the early afternoon today. Chance for a few light snow showers. Otherwise, I think we'll probably see some partial sunshine. Same thing here at 4 o'clock, and it's still going to be cold though. Now, I think we might top out probably around 40. So again, you know, around 38, 39, 40 is a good range there. And then as we go to about 8 o'clock, 34 degrees, and the clouds will part, leading to mostly to partly clear skies for tonight. Next 7 days of your life are coming up, brought to you by Quick Solutions. And there you see 58 on Thursday. That's when that temperature really starts to spike up, and here it comes. Now, I'm still holding our temperatures down into the upper 60s. I think that warm front might be just a bit to our south, and then plus with the rain, that may hold our temperatures down, but I'm still putting 60s for Friday and Saturday, and then the temperatures start, yes, but unfortunately, the temperatures start to trend down. We're going into early next week, and it looks like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And it looks like temperatures will continue below average. News Now will continue right after the break.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
It's tax time, so get to Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown for all of your vehicle needs. Service, inspection, vehicle sales, they do it all. For all of your automotive, motorcycle, and ATV service needs, Express Bike and Auto even offers financing. Your true one-stop vehicle shop is Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. They're located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension next to Quick Fill. Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. Stop looking, start saving today.
Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to News Now. Taking a look at some of your comments as we are sitting down with Rick Huber, Ryan Hedrick, talking about a big issue that is pretty much plaguing our area and has been for quite some time. I wanted to touch on Samantha's comment. She's been commenting throughout much of our broadcasts. She blames the lack of family structure and respect. Rick, have you seen that being a problem?
Absolutely. In fact, I think that's another thing we have to do differently is we have to look at this holistically instead of just concentrating on the addiction for treatment or prevention purposes. It is a breakdown in the family, and it's continuing. Right. You know, like I said, poverty is involved there. All kinds of things that we need to look at to treat it holistically. Because if we just focus on the addiction, it's not going to do any good. Because they're still going to be going back to the same place to live, lack of jobs, lack of education.
Not treating the core problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it really shocked me. And I try to tell people, get to these public school board meetings, especially in Jamestown, because we have a superintendent, and this just is my opinion. We have a superintendent that's totally inept. He's rude. He's a disgrace to the public school system. His name is Dr. Brett Apthorpe, and he's a narcissist. And when you look at Dr. Brett Apthorpe, you look at the narcissism coming through on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, tweeting about a school, about Great Mill School. But this guy won't answer my questions about teen suicide. You know, he won't go there. He will not address the problems in our community. He needs to focus elsewhere. And your tax dollars are paying for him. Right. So I hope you're happy with that decision. When you get to the school board meetings or you don't get to the school board meetings and something happens in our schools and you're like, well, what's happening? Don't ask that question if you're not willing to go to public meetings.
Right, because many meetings, I mean, last night at the Village of Faulkner meeting, for example, generally small town meetings and even the city of Jamestown is desolate. There's no, and I know that people are busy, right? And in a way, like, it's our job as the media to shine a light on topics and to hold these politicians accountable. But to a point, I think if people show up, it puts the heat on even more.
I asked Rick who he's supporting as far as the president. He's like, I don't like any politicians. They got in your way a lot, didn't they?
I agree, Rick.
Yeah, definitely. You brought up the teen suicide. Said he wouldn't answer that question. The last health assessment, in fact, when we got a hold of it, it was in your office.
Yeah.
And if you look through the statistics, Chautauqua County had like 2.5 times the state average of teen suicides.
That's sad. And per capita, I mean, we're dealing with a lot of depression. How many families did you deal with that were just kind of broken apart? Their teen daughter or son ended up committing suicide or overdosing?
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to tell which it is. I think a lot of it was so hopeless. And then it tore the families apart, of course. But that's another thing. We need to, like I said, it's got to be holistic. And we have to treat the whole family. Not just the addict,
right?
Because they're a big part of it.
Yeah. People are saying, I think Penny Williams says it's everywhere, Lakewood, Faulkner, Kyantone, Asheville, Panama. Yeah, addiction to me, and I said this on the Trifecta show on my personal Facebook page the other day, addiction is not just the drugs. It manifests itself in, it's an antisocial type disease. It isolates people. We see a lot of people that don't have drug addictions, they wind up in Sex Anonymous or Gamblers Anonymous. There's people that at the Seneca Casino right now that are waiting for somebody to give them a quarter so they can make $5 to go put in the slots so they can get home to get out of trouble. I mean, yes, that's addiction. And it goes much further than the drugs, Rick.
That's totally. I've said that for a long time. We're isolating, trying to anticipate a situation, and we're isolating one item, and it's not working. Right.
And this conversation obviously is very good to have, Rick. We thank you for joining us today.
I love it. You're kidding like old times.
Yeah, exactly. You and Ryan, man. I mean,
we might come back with another trifecta, man.
For real.
We need to go to the tippy top of
the
the
You two both did, from a media standpoint, and at that point in my career, I'm still learning every day. But seeing you both on the radio talking about something that many people consider to be taboo was incredible. So just from me to you guys, thank you both for doing this for our community. Let's check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's got another peek at our 7-day real quick. Dakota, I see 69, but then after Sunday, you can just stop talking, okay?
Actually, here's a cool little, and actually here's something. I didn't expect to be doing final weather, so I was sitting back in my chair back here, and then when Justin mentioned my name, I'm like, oh crap.
It's like diving over the desk.
So
you ever seen a weather guy dive over the desk?
Yeah. So instead of looking at my ugly mug, let's take a look at that Quick Solution 7-day one final time, and you'll be able to see that below average temperatures will continue until the end of the week when that warm front approaches. Now, the warm front, I think, is still going to remain a bit to our south, so I'm holding temperatures down into the upper 60s, but as I said yesterday, who cares? This is going to be a nice break from that cold weather, but don't get used to it because it looks like temperatures go back down below average for probably the remainder of April. So if you're looking for long-term warmth, wait until May.
For us today, we are, of course, back tomorrow. In the meantime, WNYNewsNow.com is the place to be. Have a great day.
I'm buying into skeptics mess with the confidence in my eyes. I'm seeing all the angles, thoughts get tangled. I start to compromise my life and my purpose. Is it all worth it?